どうもシンの森です。熊に襲われた人が最後にいた山小屋に、事情を探りに行きます。
And she's gonna send an officer up to secure the scene, take pictures, etc. Do you remember the truck that we spotted leaving the reserve just before we locked it down? Well, the deputy had some news. Turns out that the truck was stolen from a college campus in Denver just a couple of weeks ago. It gets stranger. The sheriff just got a call from a patrolman in the next county over. The truck has been found on fire, abandoned in the middle of nowhere. It was an anonymous tip-off. I'm not an expert, but I bet that truck was the escape vehicle for our culprits. I'll let you know if the police find anything new. I need you to look for any signs that she came here with an agenda that might tie into the problems we're having. Be respectful, though. Didn't we already find Boden's phone in the woods? Ghost town and dig site? No. I don't believe it. That's the gear from the dig site, isn't it? Look, there's the rock saw. Did they take the blade off for safety, maybe? There's a rifle in there, too? No hunter's leaving something like that lying around.
"突然ですが、犬のステータスアンロックができるので、やっておきます。糞を見つけやすくするか、そばにいるようにさせるか。後の能力とも関係なさそうだし、糞を見つけてもそんなにありがたくないから。親密さを上げておきます。
Luggage. I guess it's just clothes and things. No need to open it up. I'll be honest with you. I'm struggling to keep myself under control. Not only has someone been terrorizing the reserve, but they plan to pin it on someone else. You know, my dad said that there's a spiritual reason for what's going on. What I believe is that people have tried to hurt us, and the innocents are getting caught in the middle. And the worst thing is that I have no idea who's behind it. Composure. That's what we need now, right? We got a response from APAR. They are denying all connections to what's happening here. They say that, while they have sadly been forced to euthanize animals in the past, none of their operations would ever condone the sorts of animal mistreatment that were reported. This never seemed like their MO to begin with. They kill shelter animals because they feel it's more humane than the alternative. They don't come out here to do it. Oh, and to make things even worse, I keep getting voicemails from Bobby Joe Jefferson asking me to call him back. We were able to trace the payment for Bon's accommodation. You ready for this? It came from a Green Enterprises. The company was dissolved 3 days ago. Seems like the person behind Bon's choice to come here was also the one who gave the go-ahead to rip up our railway. That's it. I've had enough from Bobby Joe. I'm gonna call him back and tell him that it's not the time. Give me a minute.
いまいち何のことかわからんけど、動物愛護団体ではなかったと。
I have a job for you. I'm sending you details of a spot I want you to visit, but I need to deal with something just now. I'll call you back once I'm done.
目的地に近いアウトポストに来ました。
I can't believe I'm about to say this, but Bobby Joe may have solved the case. Do you recall the uranium mine that he was camped beside? It turns out that he was camping there because he was convinced that it was hosting some government conspiracy. Well, it turns out that someone had been up to visit the site on more than one occasion. The last time they visited, they came with a truck. Bobby was suspicious, so he tailed the truck as it moved around the reserve. Just before they left the reserve, Bobby lost sight of it as it disappeared in the woods. Before Bobby could figure out where it had gone, the truck returned to the road and drove out of the reserve. Bobby kept tailing him. Once they were out of the county, the driver jumped out and grabbed a jerry can from the back and doused the truck in gasoline before setting it on fire. Bobby swears to me that the guy who got out of the truck is William Simpkins Jr. Shortly afterwards, he was picked up by someone in the car that matches the description of Junior's best friend. You remember the old chairman I told you about? That's William Simpkins Sr. This is his son. We just spoke him after he got himself kicked out of his fancy prep school. Junior was pretty horrible to everyone at school, but he was especially nasty to Bobby. I won't go into details, but I wouldn't be surprised if Bobby holds a grudge. The spot I'm sending you to is the place where Bobby says the truck took a detour before leaving the reserve. The driver desperately needed to get out of here, so why take a detour? Unless it was absolutely essential.
保護区の理事会、つまり身内に犯人がいると。
There's the break in the trees. There should be some tracks for you to follow.
GPS のマーカーが空中にあるせいで、地面のこれに気づかなかった。これを追うのかい？ 森ってこっちのことかな。なんか目印はないのか。これのことか。っていうか今来たところじゃん。
Whoever it was that drove in here got out. Follow the footprints. Look, there's blood on the ground. Keep following that trail.
あの白いのはボビーが、犯人のタイヤ痕にかけたってことか。
Look, there's blood on the ground. Keep following that trail. That tree, it's been marked. Is that a hand? Bloody handprint? That's really not a good sign. Whose blood is on his hands? Look, there's blood on the ground. Keep following that trail. This seems to be the end of the trail. There's a little patch of disturbed soil. Did they bury something? It's a rusty old saw blade. Oh, it's the saw blade that had been attached to the dig team's rock saw. But why detach it from the saw and bury it unless it was important? Take another look at the blade. It's not just rusty, is it? It's got blood on it. I'd bet it's the vandal's blood, too. Okay, don't touch the blade. Leave it there. The deputy's on their way. They'll probably want to talk to you. I think we've just found the missing piece of the puzzle. Great work. I've got an update. Junior and his friend were just pulled over by the state police. Guess who has a nasty gash across their hand? Good morning, my friend. I hope you've enjoyed the last few days of uninterrupted peace and tranquility. I've just said goodbye to the last of the deputies team. They've gathered up all the evidence they think they'll need. While you've been busy hunting and exploring, I've been in interviews or giving statements to the police, the board, and even the local press. I haven't stopped or slowed down for what feels like at least a week now. I doubt today will be very different. I wanted to catch up with you this morning as I wanted to express my gratitude for the work you've done and ask you for one last big favor. I know I mentioned my dad's concern that there was a more spiritual reason for why things have been tough at the reserve. I can't say that I necessarily agree with him, but I'd like to do something to make him feel better. This job involves a journey to the top of Mount Silver Ridge. I don't trust anyone else to do this. Can you make it to the start of the trail? I think I ought to tell you why I'm sending you over there, right? So, since my dad got sick and I took over the warden position, we've sort of stopped doing a lot of the things that we used to do together. Sadly, this has resulted in us both missing the bear dance back in spring. I know it means a lot to my dad, and I feel bad that we weren't able to make it. It can get pretty tense when we discuss our culture back home. Dad and I see the world through different lenses. I am proud of my heritage and where I come from, but I don't want it to define me as a person. Dad sees that as me turning my back on my community. Since we both missed the bear dance, I plan to make it up to Dad by attending the Sundance in a week's time. You're probably wondering what this has to do with you walking up a mountain, right? Just before I was born, my grandfather climbed Mount Silver Ridge and stashed a pair of quartz rattles at the top. When I was a teenager, my dad showed me them and told me that they were only to be brought down the mountain in times of dire need. I think that if I bring those rattles with me to the Sundance, Dad will appreciate that I've accepted their significance and paid respect to our beliefs. So, after helping pull the reserve back together, I'm hoping you'll help me comfort my dad. I hope I'm not asking too much.
身内にいた攻撃的なビーガンの保護区に対する嫌がらせ。その結果、熊に人を襲わせたりしたと、狂ってるね。山の途中のアウトポストに来ました。祭りの道具を取りに行くなんて、ドラクエ6かよって思います。
Okay, so this is it. The Silver Ridge Trail. I really appreciate you taking the time to do this. I can promise you that the views from the top are worth the climb. Plus, you never know what you might be able to hunt on the way, right? While you're on your way up, why don't I fill you in on the recent news? So, first things first, Junior. I have some mixed news there. Was it Junior that terrorized the reserve? Almost certainly yes. He has, however, been released from prison after one of Daddy's lawyers stepped in to save him. He's so cocky that he actually gave an interview to a reporter, but kept using phrases like we and us, as well as the Simpkins family, which raised a few red flags. I am confident that the evidence we've gathered and Bobby Joe's testimony will help to bring the truth out, though. Anyway, in light of everything that went on here, the police are looking at the whole Simpkins family, not just Junior. I suspect that Simpkins Sr. saw an opportunity to get his payback on the APA
一族の復讐も動機の一つか。ちなみに、登山の途中にある監視塔です。さあ、ここからは歩きになるんで、ひたすら登山です。獲物などいやしない。
amazing up there, isn't it? I've only made the climb a handful of times, but it's such a great view. The rattles should be easy to find. They're in a protective case.
確かに雲より高いね。
Mission accomplished. Thank you. This means a lot to me. Enjoy the view from the top. You earned it. Our outlook is so much brighter, just because you're here with us. When I get back from the Sundance, why don't we spend some time hunting together? The media attention has actually had some unforeseen side effects. Some government inspectors are coming out to visit the polluted lake. I guess there is such a thing as bad press, huh? I'm gonna go get ready for that meeting. Hopefully we can get things moving again. Take care. We'll catch up soon.
これにてストーリーミッションは終了です。なんとか保護の道筋が見えた終わり方でしたね。とりあえず終わってもいいのですが、せっかくこのマップに来たんなら、七面鳥を狩らずには終われないので、少しハンティングに出かけようと思います。なんやかやで夜なんで、ちょっと小屋に泊まって出発します。以前は切り替わるだけだったのに、ドラクエの宿屋のような演出が入るようになりましたね。七面鳥アタック。合唱。七面鳥が飛んでる。 いた。あれ、ヒットしてない。オケオケ。合唱。ああ、2発当たってるわ。1発目で逃げなかったんだ。ゴールドなら剥製にしとこ。合唱。合唱。ウルトラ画質の眺めはいいな。 ということで今回はここでお開き、お付き合いに感謝。次回はまた別のマップを楽しみたいと思います。では、またのお越しを。よろしければ、作業用の自然派動画として、チャンネル登録してもらうと嬉しいです。コメントもらうと喜びますし、いいねもらっても、もちろん喜びます。真の森でした。